よし、メノ。俺がこの能力で活躍できるとこ教えて。
Fantasy anime worlds are one of the few settings that really just draw people into watching the series, as it simply has a different reality than what you normally see, and, any possibilities can happen during the series. How about also, throwing in some magic in the world, and, just to make things a little bit more interesting so characters can use cool abilities. And so for that reason, today's video will go over and recommend 10 fantasy magic anime series for you all to watch, which also might include a badass protagonist for you all to enjoy. So, if you're new around here, then please make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notifications bell icon turned on to stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. Now, without keeping you all waiting, let us begin with the video. So why don't we kick this list off with a brand new anime series set in a fantasy world that actually has a very interesting world building for starters and has managed to make me really want to continue watching it, hence why I'm recommending it for you guys to check out in the first place. Basically, there are beings from another world being isekai and brought to this fantasy world and are called Lost Ones. No one really knows the sole reason for this purpose, but they are actually spreading reality inventions to this world, which can be seen as a toxic act, especially for a young girl who is an executioner on a mission to eliminate the Lost Ones with dangerous powers. I really like the characters, it's just amazing. She actually has a very interesting past that somewhat attaches me to this character that I want to find out more about, and what she plans to do when more Lost Ones show up. So for that reason, you all should definitely give it a try. Up next is a brand new anime series airing for the spring 2022 season, and it is I'm Quitting Heroing.
決まった。これは採用間違いなし。不採用に決まったらがボケー。
I first came in, with a little bit of low expectations for this anime, but surprisingly, its first episode was so damn good to the point where its twists and events have made me burst out laughing due to how good they were. Now, this series is about an overpowered hero who saves countless people from the wrath of the Demon Queen and her plot to destroy humans, but of course, people had a bit of a change of heart when they viewed the hero as a threat due to him being too powerful that he might one day and most likely take over the world.
一度火がついた恐怖や不安は誰にも止められなくなる。
He was then actually exiled from the kingdom and has made the biggest decision in his life, and that is to join the Demon Lord's army that he once destroyed and help them rebuild, and that way he can repay his debt. It's just a way of, of him apologizing for the countless things that he ruined for them. I never expected a hero to be joining the villain side. It's a very interesting choice, and I'm actually really interested in where this decision will take him.
Infinity Detonation!
How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is one of the most popular isekai series that the majority of the people have seen, but just in case if you haven't, this show is definitely one of the better Demon Lord series you can watch. It features a very powerful Demon Lord named Diablo with excellent characteristics, making him a great protagonist within the show, and also a variety of female characters that compensate for Diablo's harem. And in case you were wondering, yes, this is a harem series in the end. With its second season that ended months back, I really hope to see this anime show, return at some point, as it's just given me so much entertainment watching it, to be honest. There actually is not many Demon Lord anime related series out there, but this one is definitely among one of the top isekai series you have to watch. So let me ask you all a question. Have you guys even heard of or remember a series called the Grimoire of Zero? Sure does bring back memories, even though it was super underrated. This anime is not by all means any different or unique, as we have seen it done plenty of times, but, you know, it revolves around conflicts between witches and humans. I guess you could say that it brought mixed feelings for the audience, but for me, I actually found a lot of enjoyment out of it because I liked the overall path that the series was taken. If you all don't know, this anime is actually getting a second season in the next few days, which did surprise me considering how underrated it was, but maybe, just maybe, the second season is somewhat, you know, trying to redeem itself for the series overall. Nevertheless, if you are looking for, you know, just a fantasy series with, you know, witches, beast folk, humans, and cool magic powers, then definitely consider checking out the Grimoire of Zero. Now, how about an anime series that features a unique character, unlike anything you guys have ever seen before, that has the habit of being super cautious around any enemy, no matter its size or strength? So I present to all of you, Overly Cautious Hero. This anime is by far one of the best isekai series I've ever experienced, from, you know, bringing the most laughter because of the craziness that happens in the show, but also its epic moments that you won't ever forget. A character named Seiya was summoned as a hero to defeat the Demon Lord, but he has just one tiny problem, or actually a huge problem, and that is that he is extremely cautious. He has a tendency of releasing powerful moves on the weakest enemies to make sure that they stay dead for good, sometimes even casting them over and over and over again, just to make, you know, it just makes it watching 10 times better, you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen a character like Seiya before, making this isekai series funny, entertaining, and just full of potential if you haven't seen it yet.
おい香織お前までこんな時に何してやがる
危ないから危険が危ないから危ない危険だからしがみついてるの己香織私を下敷きにして奇襲とは
And now we move on to From Commonplace to the World's Strongest, an isekai series that probably showed one of the worst CGI during season 1, which kind of made the anime fall kind of downhill in its production, but story-wise, it was very addicting to watch. While season 2 showed some improvement, I really enjoyed it a lot, and hence why I think it's definitely worth watching up to season 2, as there is an upcoming OVA that actually continues the story very soon. Arifureta is about an entire class that gets isekai to another world, and they need to somehow find a way back to the real world, all while fighting dangerous monsters and beasts and going on an epic adventure. The show also greatly portrays how a weak character is at first, becomes stronger later down the line, and I'm pretty sure you already knew that based on the title of the anime, as this is highly recommended to watch.
たとえそれが神だとしても
Now, if you are looking for a fantasy series that involves some horror and unforgiving bloody adventure and goblins to slay, well, look no further because up next is good old Goblin Slayer.
あなたは
Goblin Slayer.
Goblin Slayer is one of those series that got quite a bit of controversy at the start due to some disturbing moments and scenes, but people just need to understand that this is a dark fantasy and stuff like this is meant to happen. Otherwise, what is the point of the horror in this anime? So, our protagonist, the Goblin Slayer, only wishes to slay goblins, one of the weaker mobs in the show, and people just underestimate his abilities most of the time. So, in the end, why would he just slay goblins as a high-ranked adventurer, and why not go for the bigger money? There's a whole lot more to it than you think, and that is why it is definitely worth watching. Kekai Sensen is one of the Studio Bones' best series ever created alongside other productions like, let's say, Mob Psycho 100. But what makes the story so good, however, is the overall execution. It's not just some anime that is, you know, predictable, where characters find each other's weaknesses and just go from there. No, not at all. Its storytelling style is a lot like Baccano, where there isn't really a main character and more of a main cast of characters to tell the story it presents, which makes it a lot more unique than a lot of anime out there. Action scenes are truly amazing, Studio Bones really went out of their way to deliver us a series full of quality with stylistic camera angles to keep the flow going, and it really works so well. And for that reason, I think this is a well-deserved anime series to watch. Right up next, we have an anime series by the name of SukaSuka. Now, this is a very interesting series featuring a protagonist that went through a long slumber after being frozen for years until waking up into the distant future to a world that was never the same as before. A world in which humanity has all but vanished and the remaining life forms have taken to the skies, building civilizations upon floating islands and relying on creatures known as leprechauns to fight in a never-ending war. Now, the leprechauns in SukaSuka, however, are actually girls born from children who died before having anything to live for. Now, it's quite heartbreaking watching it in certain scenes, but that's what makes it a story ever so interesting to see. Now, don't go in thinking that this is some happy anime series when obviously it's not anywhere near a happy series. And finally on this list we have is an anime series called And You Thought There Was Never a Girl Online. This is a very simple series focusing on a group of characters in the gaming club who have fun together, playing, just a simple MMORPG game. It's not an isekai as the characters stay in reality, but it just does heavily focus on a lot of the fantasy aspects being the game itself. Now, the protagonist, Rusian, told himself to never believe in other players who have their avatars as girls because it might end up being just a guy behind the chair. Yeah, that's kind of sad. But one day, things were different, and he actually met a beautiful girl named Ako who goes to the same school as him. And things get a lot more interesting as the characters team up, go on an adventure, and spend time together as great friends. I guess this is where the video comes to an end, as it's time to wrap it up for now, but don't you all worry, I have plenty more lists coming very soon which you all might want to stick around for on the channel to watch when they are out. If I have managed to leave any anime in particular that you thought would have been a great addition on the list, then comment it down below as I'd love to hear your opinion, or just comment down below what you thought about the video in general, as I'd always appreciate the feedback. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.